What is up, everybody? Zachurrate is here to touch your base. I wanted to do a quick video just sort of letting you know where I am, where my headspace is, the direction the channel is going to be going, and just sort of let you in on some of the other thoughts that I'm having right now. First and foremost, the channel is a little over 5 months old now. It's still a baby, but it's growing, and that is so important, and it's such a joy for me to watch it grow and help nurture it with your assistance. So after 5 months, I now also have a little over 100 subscriptions, which, if I'm being honest, I was never sure I'd reach that number. It's obviously very small in the grand scheme of things. It is lost in the giant ocean that is YouTube and Twitch and any other sort of subscription-based mediums, but that's okay because that's 100 subscribers to me, to my vision, and I appreciate that. I appreciate each and every one of you. Apologies, I'm going to be doing this like stream of conscience style. There's not really a script I have or anything, so I'm just going to be blathering on, so I apologize in advance. In the last 5 months, I've learned a lot by doing this, a staggering amount, to be honest with you. And I've gotten better. I'm getting more comfortable with it. I'm continuously looking for ways I can improve the craft or the gear, and it's been a lot of fun, which is the bottom line here. Is fun and building a community. I've said this before, but I don't have any illusions of grandeur. I think if I were to set my goals up at this point, I have a little bit clearer of a vision of the goal, and this kind of goes hand in hand with a Twitter following now. I've broken back into social media after being away from it for, God, 4 or 5 years. I always had a Facebook, never had anything else. Facebook is terrible, and I hate it. I reactivated it, and I can't stand it. But big surprise, I actually do enjoy Twitter, which reverts me back to my original point here. Is my goal is I'd like to be able to engage with any fan base that I develop. Like, for example, I want to be able to come up with thought-provoking game-related questions to throw out on my Twitter, and then get responses, to get well-thought-out responses that I can engage with, and varied responses are important. So I'm not there yet because, one, I don't have enough followers, and two, I don't think I quite have my Twitter formula down. Does that make sense? Like I don't know exactly when the best time to tweet is. But I'm working on it. You know, this is all still pretty foreign to me, and it's been quite a joy getting into it, which leads me into my next point about Twitter. Is it's opened my eyes to how amazing indie developers are these days. Like I had a very, very closed view of that part of the industry. Obviously, I could recognize that indie games have boomed in the last few years and some preceding years before that to now. You know, you've got indie games everywhere on all of the consoles, right? But you also have so many people who haven't had official releases of games, that they're quietly, perhaps even teams of 1 and 2 people working on these games, and there's thousands upon thousands of them. And I think that's just a beautiful thing, that they have these tools available, and there are so many hardworking, creative, intelligent people out there that are working on games. I think that's fucking incredible. And Twitter opened my eyes to that, and I've had so much fun engaging with indie developers on Twitter and playing their games. I really enjoyed that. Did not expect that, and I'm always hawking. I'm always keeping an eye out for new indie developers that I can follow on Twitter and talk to, and play demos, release videos for them. It's so vast. It's so vast, and there's so much creativity out there, and to tap into that well is a joy to be had. So let me talk a little bit about where I'm going to be taking the channel from this point forward, and other ventures that I want to get into. First and foremost, you'll notice, if you're paying attention, that I haven't done any live streams. I have not done one. And that's partially because I am scared to death, if I'm being honest, of going live. And I mean, I guess the fear implies that I'd have people watching, which might just be a bit of an overstepping of the bounds here, because I'm not even entirely sure I would have anybody watching. So my fears are probably entirely illogical and should be thrown out the door, and I should just jump in with reckless abandon. But I haven't yet. I want to, and I do plan on doing so. It's just sort of, I'm the type of person that I need to really mentally prepare myself for new things. I'm very much a creature of habit in a lot of ways, and it takes me a little bit break into something new. But once I get into it, I promise I'll hit the ground running, because that's just the way I am. It takes a while to get started, but I'm generally pretty good with learning curves and getting my feet under me. So I have a Twitch account. It's inactive, but I have the name reserved as if anybody would take it, but just in case, I do have a Twitch account. I am going to be looking into getting a stream key. I have a very good buddy of mine, Bradley, who has given me some information on how to do that, so very much appreciation to him. That's kind of set me in the right direction. That is in the works. My plan for streaming, in terms of games, the genres and such that I want to do is, first off, I want to get into Fire Emblem content. Fire Emblem is one of my favorite game series ever. I'm very familiar with most of the games in the series, and I think that would be a good starting point, because I think Fire Emblem has a great fan base that's always growing. I want to play games when I'm getting into stream that I'm comfortable with, that I might be able to teach a little bit about. I don't want to be stuck menu diving and kind of fumbling over myself with something new while I'm also learning newness with the streaming, right? So I figured, let's do some Fire Emblem games. Let's stir that pot a little bit. I think, I could be wrong, but I think that fan base is starved for some new, fresh, good content. Not to say that any existing Fire Emblem content is bad, and I know there are some kind of, Mount Rushmore characters in that community, but I do think they could use a little bit of help. I also want to do some AAA games that may have passed me by, that they're sort of long past their peak, so to speak. For example, I'd like to do God of War, the recent one. I've actually recorded a couple videos on it, but I think I don't know, it might be too ambitious, and I don't want to have like a 40 video series of God of War, because that's too fucking much. I know it's a huge game. I don't know if I want to undertake that in video form. I think that might serve me better as a streamable. But anyway, I digress. My point here is I want to get into live streaming. I want to start tapping into that, and I think that would also take a load off, because I want to continue releasing videos every day. But with the 9 to 5 and just energy levels and how I've been feeling lately, I don't know how feasible that's going to be. I definitely won't drop below 5 videos a week, but I might be looking at 6 instead of the 7 that I've been chugging on pretty voraciously here in the last 5 months, which I'm very proud of. I'm very proud of that, but based on views and such, I don't know if it's worth doing that anymore. But again, that's sort of an internal discussion with me. I'll figure that out and get back to you. That leads me to my next point, is I'd like to expand my content beyond Let's Plays. I would like to start doing vlogs like this. This is basically a vlog, but I'd like to do relevant vlogs. I have some lists in mind. I have some reviews in mind. So that I'm very excited for. It sort of took me a while to get the courage to get that going, but now, as you can see, I'm surrounded by a really nice overlay. Credit will be in the description below. It's a beautiful overlay. It's got Setsuna. I'm pointing the wrong way. It'd be that way. It's got Setsuna from Fire Emblem Fates in it. It's pretty good. It's not my favorite Fire Emblem game, but Setsuna's really, I'm pointing the wrong way again. Setsuna's really cool, and that's an awesome artist rendition of her. I dig the hell out of it, so that's what we're going with right now. I'm gonna start doing lists, because who the fuck doesn't like lists? Everybody likes lists. They're fun. They're a good way to get your opinion out there. It's just nobody dislike lists. It's such a marketable thing, and I'd like to get my little slice of it, and I think I could actually add some quality content making some lists. I have a couple other series in mind moving forward. I don't want to I'm just gonna plant the little seeds of them for right now. I've started writing a little bit of scripts and coming up with like proof of concepts, but nothing too concrete yet. Not gonna be coming out right away, but there is more stuff in the works, is basically what I'm getting down to the nitty gritty here. Is there are more things coming, and I am very excited to share them. Another comment on the direction of the channel. So in the last couple months, we've had some really awesome AAA games come out, right? Like we had The Last of Us 2. If you don't like it, go away. We also had Ghost of Tsushima, and we've got Cyberpunk still coming out. We had Doom Eternal earlier in the year. So where I'm going with this is I'm not going to be doing videos for AAA games anymore, at least right around the release date. That's not the niche that is going to lead to success for me. Because there's so much competition, right? I'm not going to be able to compete with the Jacksepticeyes or the PewDiePies or whatever other popular. I'm not even that well versed, honestly, in the popular YouTubers. I'm so on the outside looking in from that. I'm not up in on that pop culture at all. Anyway, that's not the niche I'm gonna have any success in. Like, the view counts suck on those videos, and I know for a fact that the only people who are watching them are my good friends, and I appreciate the hell out of you guys. I do. I love you, but I can't keep doing those. I can't grow. So Ghost of Tsushima is going to be the last AAA game that I'm going to do within any reasonable time within its release date. I fumbled over my words a little bit there, but you get what I'm saying based on context. I loved Last of Us 2, and the views are, you know, they start to perk up as time goes by, and I appreciate that, but I think it would be best for me to focus more on indie games or niche games. And I'm totally good with that because like I said before, I love the indie scene. I love supporting indie developers. I get such a kick out of when they, you know, say, you know, thank you for playing my game, and, you know, this and that and this and that. Like, that's really heartwarming because I know that they're getting a joy out of watching me play these games that they've put all of this hard work and time and heart and love into. And that, I don't know, it's a feeling that is just so near and dear to me. So I want to keep that going. I want to keep giving myself that special serotonin by doing that. That's not to say I won't play games with a following, because I mean, I have fucking dozens of amazing thumbnails made by my buddy Kyle Dezorin on YouTube that are not going to go to waste. Like, I have some Resident Evils in there that I want to play. I already mentioned I want to do God of War. I have various indie games from all kinds of genres made up. I have, let me just take a look here. It's a little bonus if you're watching this video with me. You get to have a sneak peek into some games that are coming up the line or down the line or whatever. So yeah, I've got a bunch of horror games in there. I've got that Alien Isolation, which I know has a good following. I've got The Evil Within. I've got a couple of Fire Emblem games already made. I'm going to be doing, and I want to put more games into that Round 2 series I've been doing. So I've got an amazing thumbnail made for Nier Automata. Again, Kyle, you're just the fucking boss, man. I've got Sekiro in there. Oh my God, which reminds me, Soulsborne content. Holy shit. If there is one series I like more than Fire Emblem, it's the Soulsborne games. That's Dark Souls 1 up through 3, Bloodborne, and Sekiro. All fantastic, amazing games. And I'm going to be doing more content on those because they are near and dear to me. I'm actually pretty good at them. I'm probably rusty as hell since I haven't played in quite some time. But if you're a fan of that series, please look forward to that because I will be working on some Soulsborne content. I have a couple Tomb Raider games coming up the pipeline, The Outer Worlds, Soma, Shadow Tactics. So I've got a lot coming up the line. That's the point here, okay? But again, less of a focus on AAA titles around their release date for sure. That is in the books. I'm committed to that. Ghost of Tsushima will be the last one that I do that for because I'm in the middle of it. I have nails made. I love the fuck out of the game, and I'm gonna do some really cool highlight compilations for it too, which I'm really excited for. But anyway, so that pretty much closes the book on that point. Now you've got it. Less AAA titles, more indie stuff, more types of content from me. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I want to say? I don't know. Let me just reiterate that I really appreciate you. If you're watching this, if you've watched anything at all, I appreciate you. I do. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think. Oh, I have one more thing, another point. Oh God, I knew it would come up. And I was starting to get into it, and then I interrupted myself. Okay, here we go. Over the last 5 months, my confidence with this whole project, it's like a roller coaster. It goes up and down, up and down. Some days I ask myself, am I wasting my time? Am I wasting my time making these videos, planning out the release schedule, paying Kyle to make me thumbnails, editing the videos, just thinking about it, running a Twitter account for it? I mean, there's so much that goes into it that you don't see on camera. There really is. There really, just If you're unfamiliar with it, just do a Google search. Google search, what do I need to start a YouTube channel? And go down that rabbit hole, and you'll keep going deeper and deeper. And I'm not saying that to toot my own horn, because I'm not. I'm not at all. It's just when you never really know the full scope of anything, any activity, any job, any game, whatever, until you actually get into it and do it. The point I'm trying to make here is this is tough. And the question I often ask myself is, should I keep doing this? Should I? I mean, I could invest my energies elsewhere. I always answer back eventually, after some anxiety-ridden thoughts, is that you should keep doing this because it's fun. I love buying gear. I love having an excuse to play games. I love it when random internet strangers tell me that I'm doing a great job and that they enjoyed hanging out with me, and that makes it worth it. And it's like, I don't do it for that validation. I really don't. I can promise you that. I do this because I do love video games, and I've been playing them for 20 plus years with a very high amount of passion. And it's weird for me now to see how much of a cultural chunk video games take out now. And when I was growing up, back in my day, but no, when I was growing up, you were like a class 10 nerd if you spent your time playing video games. Like, I mean, not necessarily an outcast, but it was like, you know, video games weren't what they were today. And I think it's so fucking cool how much it is entrenched. It's like video games don't have a gender. They don't have an age group. They're for everybody. And I think it's because of that I derive a lot of energy from it now. And it's so cool to have discussions with people about them, because video games are an art form, and I won't have it any other way. I got off track a little bit there. I'm trying to talk about my confidence levels here. And so some days it's actually really high too. It's like, wow, I think I'm actually pretty good at this. Like, I mean, I'm always, again, like I said earlier in the video, I'm always looking for ways I can improve, and I'm ready to get a new editing software. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not stoked about what I have anymore, and I'm ready for something a little more powerful, and with something that has more troubleshooting videos on the internet, more tutorials that I can find so I can get better at it. Because I know my editing is like, I feel like I have a good eye for comedic timing and where to put cuts and all that jazz, but I don't have anything like flashy or, you know, particularly eye-grabbing about my editing style. I mean, I watch somebody like Markiplier and Lixian, who does his editing, and that guy is fucking incredible. I mean, I don't even care about Markiplier anymore. I'll watch his videos just to see what Lixian does in the editing room. But again, I digress. I'm gonna keep getting better. I wanna keep getting better, not only for you, but for myself, because I want to continue to be proud of this project, and I am very much so. I need to keep the fuel tank filled up. Okay, I think that covers it then, does it? I think so. Again, thanks to all of you. It's been a lot of fun. It's not stopping anytime soon. I've got a lot of things in the works. I think I'm gonna continue to gradually grow, which I have for all 5 months. It has not stagnated, not once. And that's a great indicator for me, I think. I think that's a really good indicator for the future of the channel. But I want to do more videos like this, because I think it's important that as a creator and as you are my community, you need to have a better view into my thought processes and in my opinions and my general personality and what I like and what I don't. Because I mean, this is a give and take, and this is something that I really need to work on with the channel, which I've been doing very well on Twitter, and I'm trying to sort of bring anybody who's on YouTube over to my Twitter and vice versa. So I've been working on that with Twitter. Haven't done so much of that with YouTube, because I mean, pretty much all you're seeing is just me playing games, which is fine, but I need to get my brand, myself, a little more out there in the open, and I think that would help immensely. I think it will. I don't know if it will, but I think it will. I think that about does it. Again, I thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. I'm not going to do the normal outro because this isn't a Let's Play video, but you know the drill. If you haven't already, subscribe. If you have subscribed, go ahead and like the video. If you like the video and you're subscribed, follow me on Twitter. If you like the video, you're subscribed to my channel, and you follow me on Twitter, then share the video on Twitter. If you do all of those things, then come to my house so I can kiss you, because you've done all you can for me. I mean, don't actually do that. I don't want you to do that. Maybe. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, there's a select few people who can do that, but not all of you, okay? Let's keep it on the down low. The down low, the low down. Okay. This outro got a little awkward. Okay. Well, cue the music. Cue the outro music. The outro music. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. There it is. Bye-bye.